Welcome back to GarageMisadventures. I'm Doug, here with my dad Ron again today, and we're going to talk about wood threading. And this is something that you can do that will allow you to make all kinds of cool toys. We've got some like bolts and nuts, and then you can make toy wrenches and even ratchets. These plans are on the internet to make this like working ratchet, which is pretty cool to use as for making toys, and so he's made some really neat stuff using this. So this is the tool, tap and die, that are available from your local wood supply stores. So what we start with is, he makes his own dowels. You don't have to do that. You can use pre-made dowels, but it starts with just any piece of wood that you care to, and then turns it down to a usable stock. And if you're turning your own dowels, one thing he's come up with is this, which is essentially a go no-go gauge that slips over your dowel, so you can check when you're to the right dimension. So this is a 1 inch because that's the one that we have. You can get other sizes, but this is a 1 inch kind of go no-go gauge that slips over your dowel if you're turning it down by hand, or on the lathe rather. So we've got a few undrilled nuts. We're going to drill them, we're going to tap them, and we're going to make a threaded, we're going to do a threaded bolt and nut combination today.
I'm over here at the drill press, and we're going to get ready to drill the nuts to make for the bolt. So here's one that I've already cut the edges off, and there's the center point. We use a 7/8 Forstner bit. By turning it over, it gives us a clean hole. There's no busted out wood. Two good holes. Then I can usually go over to the bandsaw and cut these corners off.
So now that he turned it down to the proper diameter, this is the length that he's going to thread, obviously. We then take our nuts and our rod, and we've soaked them in boiled linseed oil to soften them up to prepare them for threading, so that they don't just shred.
And that's at least overnight. At least overnight.
Yeah. So for the sake of time, he has some that he soaked overnight last night to get it ready for us to demonstrate today.
If you feel any resistance, turn it back a little bit. do the dowel itself. Normally I take it to the sander and sand a little bit off here so the starter starts on it okay, not crooked. I think we're all right on this one. The harder the wood is, the better it is on threads. This is birch that I'm turning right here, and it turns really good. Now you can see how good the threads are. And I'll turn some more. So I don't know if you can see it, but right down into there, there's the cutter. Just a blade. And then there's the
All right, well there you have it. Pretty simple project that you can make some really great toys with. He was just pointing out that when that boiled linseed oil dries, you can paint over it if you want to make brightly colored nuts, if you're making toys or want to do a child-safe paint or something like that for a finish. Yeah, you can take your threaded rods and make a hex where you can glue that on and make a bolt. Some really neat stuff you can do using this. And if you don't turn, if you're not a turner, then you can buy high quality hardwood dowels and just start with that. So don't let that scare you off. And there are alternative ways, obviously, to do all of this. You know, you could use a scroll saw to cut the corners. You could even drill your nuts with a hand drill if you don't have a drill press. So this is a pretty self-contained little tool that you can come up with different ways to make some great toys. So
and this ratchet turns both ways. You just flip this all the way back over there, and it turns the other way.
With the plexiglass back on the ratchet, you can see the mechanism. It's pretty neat toy. Like I said, you can find the plans for that. What's that?
On YouTube.
Yeah, the plans for that came off of YouTube from another YouTuber. So all stuff you can find on the internet. But yeah, thank you for watching. Definitely don't forget to subscribe. We'll have some more woodworking topics coming up. But this is a fun one that I hope you can tackle and get some enjoyment out of.